background. So let's make a Mega Voxel. The first thing, we're going to put in a regular voxel size here. And the next thing I want to do is I'm going to put another regular voxel out here in the middle of nowhere. I'm going to select this one, take my smooth tool and click it. I hit it twice just to make it small here. And I'm going to grab that with a Control C. I'm going to come over to this standard voxel and do a Control V to paste. I'm going to paste it right here and kind of move it around so that I know I'm getting it where I want it. And I'm going to put it at this corner where this particular one little corner is coming out. I'm going to put it here and I'm going to hit paste. As you can tell, it pulled that voxel out and up into the space of that little micro voxel. Now let's go to the opposing face and do the same thing. I'm going to go over to each corner. Oops, I think I went one too far there, didn't I? Nope. Back out. I hate it when it does that. So I'm going to go to each corner. I hate not being able to see it. And now you can see I start expanding this thing into a shape that is way bigger than the way it was before. Do I share my toolbar? I'm not sure what toolbar you're referring to. This one? Okay. Let's kind of continue on here. I'm going to go down 2, and I'm going to go to all the other corners at the bottom face here. One, 2. Now what I've done is literally expanded that one voxel into a bigger shape than what I had before. Now if I select just that one voxel, do a Control C to copy, I can come over here and do a Control V to paste, bring this up and paste it right next to itself over and over again and create a wall that has little space gaps in it. And basically I'm rolling my mouse 2 spaces each time to paste this in. And the more you kind of play with the different pasting techniques, I mean, you can take these little microvoxels and paste it on different points of the square to come out with a different shape for this Mega Voxel. So every time you play with it, you may come out with something different, but this is what you get when you paste it on all 4 corners. And then when you stack them, you can see I've got these blocks that have this gap spacing in between all the way across. This gap is coming from the thickness of this voxel. Now the smaller this is, the smaller this gap's going to be, or if the bigger you make that voxel that you're putting on the corners, the bigger that spacing is going to be. And the more you play with it, you can actually come up with some pretty cool little things with it. Now let's go back one more time and we're going to do the opposing face of a voxel just to kind of get a little bit deeper in here. Let's go back to this voxel that I created earlier. Control C to copy. And instead of putting it on the corners all the way around the block, a voxel, let's put it right up against the faces of a voxel. Put one there. There. Actually, let's go up 1, down 1, back to the center, one that side and one this side. just by playing around with it, you can see I created what looks to be like a mace head. And you can actually kind of expand it even further than that after playing with it. Let me get this thing back into kind of shape here. There we go. So now we have a new shape, which looks like these huge, you know, spiky thing, pyramid spike. Now if I take my selection tool and I grab a hold of this here, that is if I can do my shift click of a selection, hold down my shift key, push it into the center, control C to copy. Now let's paste this one out. Control V to paste. You can see it creates a panel this time though. It doesn't retain these outside little protrusions. But if I grab the protrusion itself and do a Control C to copy, Control V to paste, pull it up, you see I have that pyramid shape. And I can do the same thing with the opposing face here and grab the pyramid shape on this side. So that's pretty much Mega Voxels and playing and doing different stuff, and you can actually make some really interesting things. You can actually create slopes that are at a 45-degree angle. All different kinds of playing around, and there's a lot of people out there that have been playing with them. They've created Mega Voxel boards. There's bunches and bukus of stuff out there. It's just a matter of going around and looking and finding it. Sometimes if you look at the forums, you'll find places that you can get copies of these boards like I have in here, like this, and which are called swap meets, by the way. So if you look up there, look into the, I think it's like tools, let me find it, tutorials and guides section inside of the landmark forums. You'll be able to find.
He looks like a little insane drunken angel.
Why, thank you, Skippy's cat. Skippy's cat. Okay. But if you look on the tutorials section there at the landmark forums, a lot of times you can find out about different swap meets, and you can get your hands on some of these boards. Another thing you can do is you can actually go into, if you add certain people on your Twitter, a lot of times you'll find out about swap meets that are coming up and whatnot.